Hello and welcome to another episode of Turtleton's Tutorials. Today we're going to be looking at Minecraft and how to enchant and the effects of enchanting swords. So here we have our enchanting table, and getting straight down to the basics, if you want to enchant something, all you need to do is take your sword, be it any type of material, place it in, and you'll see we get a whole stack of different enchantments. If you want to try for a different role, take it away, put it back in, and you can do this as many times as you like. Now, these enchantments or the words of the enchantments are actually random, and they have no effect on what the enchantment itself is, whereas the level tells you what experience level is needed to actually complete that enchantment. So, here I have a few swords which have already been enchanted. The first is the Sharpness, and this is level 1. Now, for every level of sharpness, you add half a heart's worth of damage to whatever you're going to hit. With Smite, each level adds between 3/4 and 1.5 hearts worth of damage to the mob you're hitting, provided that it's an undead mob, that being a skeleton, a zombie, or a zombie pigman. Hitting any other mob will effectively be treated as if the sword has no enchantment on it. Now, the Bane of Arthropods, that will add the same amount of damage, that being between 3/4 and 1.5 hearts worth of damage to any arthropods, so that's spiders, cave spiders, and silverfish. The fire aspect enchantment will mean that any time you hit a mob, it will set it on fire. Simple. A sword with the looting enchantment will increase the maximum drop rate by 1 for every level of looting the sword has. So if it's a creeper, which will drop between 0 and 2 items of gunpowder, then looting level 1 will effectively mean that it will drop between 0 and 3 levels of gunpowder. And finally you have the knockback enchantment. As the name suggests, will push the mob back with every hit of the blade. So, whereas these ones are very difficult to show you, I can show you how the fire aspect works on our not-so-willing volunteer here. So, we have our fella here, and we have our sword of fire aspect, and while this is going to kill him in one hit, you should be able to see a flame pop up, there you go, very soon. And with a similar demonstration, the sword with the looting enchantment, in this one it's happened to actually give us quite a considerable number more snowballs than the sword without that enchantment. Again, this doesn't actually increase the likelihood of them being dropped, just the maximum number of items which can be dropped. Now here we'll be able to show you the effects of knockback. So if I hit this one, you'll see, well, the snow golems only really travel a short distance. But using this sword, he travels considerably further. Now, if we get rid of those, here we have our enchanting table with a wall of 30 bookcases surrounding it. Now the joy with this is, we get large or high levels of enchanting available to us. So if we were to pick this one, you see now we have knockback level 2. Of course, we can carry on picking these and putting them down until we find something more suitable. And hopefully, if we get a high enough one, something in the 40s, we'll be able to show you the possibilities that you can get of 2 different enchantments being placed on at once. Well, we'll take 33. So that's level 2 sharpness. And here we have it. A sword with the Bane of Arthropods level 5 and knockback level 2. Now we can carry on doing this, see if we can get some other interesting swords. Level 45, ooh, sharpness level 4. not too bad. We have quite a set here. And as you can see, they're fairly random. We're going for the higher end ones here. Sharpness level 3 and knockback 2. And finally, I'm well out of levels, so I'll not be able to do anything too high. Perhaps we'll see if we can get a low one. Bane of Arthropods level 1 again. Nothing particularly fun there. Now, there are a few relatively important facts to state here, and while there's a ton of information on the wiki page, I'll distill it somewhat. Generally speaking, you want to use your experience points as early as possible, because the level of which experience goes up to is on a logarithmic scale. That means each level requires progressively more experience points than the one behind it. In addition, mobs have a set experience value that they will give you. So it becomes increasingly harder, and you have to kill increasingly more monsters and mobs to get to your next level. Additionally, it's worth pointing out that enchantments have a range of levels that they can be applied to. So taking Sharpness for example, Sharpness level 1 could be applied between the experience levels 1 and 21, meaning you can enchant a sword at the cost of 1 level, or you can enchant it to the same level of Sharpness for 21 experience levels, meaning that you've wasted 20 experience levels worth of points. So with that in mind, this has been another of Turtleton's tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.